Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Corporate Funding Overview for Peak Funding Pro. I've got a lot of information to share with you tonight, so I will do my best to be sensitive to your time. Let me introduce myself. My name is Tom Selly. I'm a professional marketer, a professional entrepreneur. I've been in this industry full-time over 17 years, and what we have to share with you tonight, I promise you, it's a hot one, and I promise you it's not a waste of your time, because this never before seen or heard of information has already improved the lives of countless Americans, and it can do the same for you folks if you stay until the end. So let me once again thank you for spending your valuable time on this webinar. Put all distractions aside. You owe it to yourself to focus on this information. This is not your traditional webinar. I promise you what you're going to see here tonight is probably something you've never seen. It's very, very brilliant, and it's worth your full attention. So let's go ahead and get started. Why we're calling this the smartest business ever. Reason number one, folks, very low financial commitment. Only a minimum of 500 is required to participate in this opportunity. And if you don't have 500 right now, I'd still very much encourage you to watch the full presentation, because you can earn 500 plus potentially a whole lot more by simply inviting others to watch this same video. And you don't have to spend a dime with us to share this offer with others and earn commissions. Reason number two, very low risk. Legally, folks, I can't tell you there's zero risk. However, once you understand how this all works, you can come to your own logical conclusion and calculate what you think your risk is. Just a note, we believe we've set this up in a way that mitigates your risk almost entirely. And reason number three, a very short time frame to see returns, and you'll double your money in 120 days guaranteed. And I'm not just going to make that claim, I'm going to show you how exactly we do it. First of all, though, this has nothing to do with cryptocurrency trading or investing, Forex, stocks, real estate, MLM, or any traditional investment method you may think of. As a matter of fact, this isn't about investing at all. Now, over the past 12 months, we've established and solidified some incredibly valuable and powerful relationships in the financial services industry. With over $250 million in funding, an 8-year-old and very successful financial services company, these relationships allow us access to virtually an unlimited amount of personal and business funding, because there's power in who you know. And we can get basically anyone funded and do it fairly quickly, no matter what your credit score is today. Now, if someone has a credit score under 720, which over 168 million Americans currently do, we'll get their credit restored to at least a 720, and we'll do it with zero out-of-pocket cost to them. I'm going to say that again. We're going to get their credit score to a 720 in a very short time frame with zero out-of-pocket cost to them. Zero. Zilch. Nothing out of pocket whatsoever. Does that sound intriguing? Okay, well, keep listening. How is this no out-of-pocket cost even possible? Millions of dollars have been reserved from hard money lenders specifically for the purpose of paying for others to get their credit restored. Hard money lenders are lining up at our door right now to double their money in 120 days. I'm going to share with you the mechanics of how that works. By restoring the client's FICO score to 720, we can then help them obtain upwards of $150,000 in personal funding through our unique funding system. The client then pays back the hard money lender double what they paid to restore their credit out of the funds we help them obtain. Here's an example. Let's say John's credit costs $2,500 to get restored. The hard money lender pays the $2,500 for John, and when John receives his $150,000 or more loan, he pays the hard money lender back $5,000. Now, why would our clients want to do this? Well, number one, it restores their credit without any out-of-pocket cost. We plug them into our unique funding system, and they're not responsible for servicing the debt out of pocket. And we help them leverage the loan they receive to create passive residual income upwards of $100,000 or more per year. And their credit remains protected, and no more bad debt is created. So what you need to understand, folks, is our hard money lenders are doubling their money every 120 days, leveraging our unique money multiplier system and helping others restore their credit. If we give our financial partners, for example, $100,000 to help others get their credit restored, we can receive back $200,000 within 120 days. And that would be a $100,000 profit in just a few short months. Not bad, right? And folks, we can do this over and over again. Our financial partners can also do corporate funding and get virtually anyone upwards of $150,000 to $300,000 in corporate funding, and all they need is 20,000 and 120 days to get it done. And folks, this isn't something just anyone can do. You can't just Google how to do this yourself and find someone to pay the $20K so you can receive $300K. It just doesn't work that way. If it did, everyone would be doing it, right? The bottom line is it takes the right relationships, the right knowledge, and a successful track record to be able to accomplish all this. And this is where you come in, because we're leveraging the popular and proven method of crowdfunding in order to raise the $20,000 so we can pay our partners, who in turn will create each corporation for us and obtain up to $300,000, sometimes more, in corporate funding to launch our new company. And that company will then give a portion to our financial partners to double within 120 days by helping others restore their credit. So in order to meet our goals, we're making 40 positions available at $500 per position for each corporation that we create. Essentially, we're making the opportunity available for you to own an equity stake in the corporation by loaning us a minimum of $500 to help us reach our goal of $20,000 for this campaign. And we are doing this ongoing. So once we get one corporation built and sold, we start the next. Folks, we're going to pay you back double what you loaned us in 120 days, guaranteed. And we're going to get into the guarantee as this video moves on. For each $500 you loan us, you'll receive $1,000 back in 120 days. You'll also earn a percentage of the company we create, depending on how many stakes you secure, by loaning us $500 for each stake. We're opening up 40 positions in this crowdfunding campaign, and you may fill as many positions as you're willing and able to secure based on your loan amount today. So folks, what we're saying is you can come in for a $500 stake. You can come in for any amount you want, all the way up to $20,000. If you want to come in on $20,000, you're basically purchasing your own corporation. And what happens when the $20,000 has been raised? Well, once all 40 positions have been filled, we then create the corporation. Over the course of the 120 days, which is basically 4 months, our financial partners will build up and create a positive credit history for that corp by establishing trade lines and expertly working that file to make it viable for maximum corporate funding. And after all, this is what we're paying them to do. Now, folks, this isn't theory. This is something that we've been involved and engaged in doing since the beginning of the year. The financial institution we work with has been doing it for 8 years. We've been doing personal funding for going on 3 years before this. So this is kind of everyday stuff for us. Even if this information sounds new to you, this is business as usual for us. And that's why you want to plug into this system that we put together. After we obtain the corporate funding of $150,000 to $300,000, we pay back double what each of our equity stake partners loaned us. And all of our partners are now in profit within 120 days, but it gets even better. Because for every $500 stake you loan us, we're going to give you an incredible gift. As if doubling your money in 120 days wasn't enough, we're actually going to share a percentage of the profit generated from this new corporation you helped us create and receive the funding for. For each $500 loan, you will legally own 1 share of the new corporation, and 1 share equals 1.5% of the annual net profit that corporation generates. If the corporation, which you own 1.5% of, does just $1 million net profit in its first year, your tiny $500 loan, after doubling of course, will be worth over $15,000 by the end of year 1 and over $45,000 by the end of year 2. And let me point out, that's over and above the amount that you doubled. So this is just essentially gravy money or extra that you've earned with no extra work from you. Now, how do we plan to get each company producing a minimum of $1 million annually? Remember how I told you that if we gave $100,000 to our financial partners, we could double that in 120 days by helping others get their credit restored and sending them through our funding system? That's exactly what we're going to do with a portion of the money that we receive through this funding. The new company that we'll own together will allocate a portion of the money we receive through funding to help others restore their credit. When we double our money in 120 days, we're sharing those profits with all of the partners of that corporation. So there's two things going on here. One, you've got 168 million Americans that would love to have their credit restored with nothing out of pocket, raising their hands saying, please restore my credit. I'd love to go into funding and pay you back double. And secondly, we're doing a corporate workup where you're actually owning a stake in a corporation. We're doubling your money in 120 days, and you're receiving 1.5% of the net profit of that corporation each and every year, because after all, you're a member of the board. And then we'll also be leveraging the funds received to go into real estate projects, mining projects, and other businesses. And you get to share in the profits generated from each income source of that corporation. Now, maybe you're skeptical. Maybe you're skeptical on how we can actually ramp it up or dial it up to $1 million for each corporation. But remember, we're already starting with a large amount that we pull in funding. Now, of course, we have to service that debt as well, but over and above that, we're doubling the money through our Pay It Forward program, which is where we're restoring folks' credit. And then there is a bunch of other opportunities that are very, very safe and very realistic that we can use to leverage that money into more money. And again, you have a passive seat on that board. Okay, so here's a summary of how it works. With the $20,000 you're helping us raise, we create a new corporation and make it eligible to receive $150,000 to $300,000 in 120 days. Once our corporation receives the funding, all of our partners who contributed to the campaign will receive double their loan amount. 500 equals 1 share and 1,000 back in 120 days. $1,000 equals 2 shares and 2,000 back in 120 days. 10,000 equals 20 shares and 20,000 back in 120 days. Folks, the bottom line is you're in profit in 120 days. So with each 500 you lend, you'll own 1 share in the corporation that you helped us fund, which equals 1.5% of the annual net revenue of the corporation. You can pause this video and just read through the slide again if you're still having trouble wrapping your head around it. Folks, corporate funding is one of the greatest industries to be in because there's very little risk. It's not tied to a personal guarantee. It's not tied to a FICO score or a credit score. And therefore, we're giving the banks what they want. We're doing these corporate workups and we're ticking every box that's needed in order for a bank to make an educated decision on if they want to give a loan. And when you're starting a new corporation with up to $300,000, sometimes more, the sky is the limit. There are so many things you can do. Imagine just allocating $100,000 of the funding into our Pay It Forward program and seeing it double every 120 days. Over the course of a year, that's $400,000 alone just on the Pay It Forward program before we go into any other ventures together. So I hope that you are I hope a light bulb is starting to go off, because the first thing that you want to do, ladies and gentlemen, is become a funding partner today. Click the button that you see on this page and get started immediately. Decide how many stakes you want to participate with, and also join our Facebook group and receive real-time updates as we get the corporation created and funded and in profit. Okay, and if doubling your money in 120 days and earning 1.5% of the net profit of that corporation passively isn't enough, when you share this presentation with others, folks, you learn $100 or a 20% commission for every $500 one of your personal referrals loans us to fund a campaign. And you'll earn $25 or a 5% commission on every $500 on your second tier. And that's referrals from your referrals. Simply what it means is if you invite someone and they start to participate, you're going to earn 20% when they do that. For every single person that you invite, you're earning a 20% commission. When the people that you invited begin to build their own business and they invite people, you're going to earn 5% on those referrals. Those commissions will really add up. We have some movers and shakers in our community already that have been racking up commissions. We've had people earn over $10,000 in their first month. Actually, one guy earned over $15,000 in his first month, and he really didn't even get started right away. After he saw the presentation, It took them a couple weeks to really engage. So there's a lot of money to be made with this program, folks. There's something for everybody, whether you're into the passive income, maybe you have a busy lifestyle, you have a full-time job, and you just can't dedicate a lot of time. This is perfect for you. You can come in, purchase a stake or multiple stakes, or if you want to get proactive and dive right in, you can begin sharing this video with others. Either way, it spells dollars and cents. If you have questions, by all means, get back to the person who referred you to this video. The smartest thing you can do is create a free profile. We have some videos on the inside of our back office. It costs you nothing but about 30 seconds of your time to make a free profile. And once you get back there, you are going to quickly see why it makes perfect sense to get started with us today and own a stake of a corporation or multiple stakes. Again, my name's Tom Selly. I want to thank you for your time, and we'll see you guys at the top. God bless.